show to celebrate an exciting new season of Broadway in Detroit. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight. And when I say we've got some surprises in store, it's gonna be a good night. Are you okay? You all right? You felt the love, didn't you? You guys okay? Everybody's okay? I just want to make sure. You guys think that that's all the surprise that... Hold on now. Do we have EMS on standby? I just want to make sure. An amazing, amazing performance. Clearly, Ain't Too Proud to bang one of my favorite songs, so I can't wait for you guys to come out and see Ain't Too Proud. The life and times of the Temptations. It's gonna be a great, great summer, a great, great season at that. I'd like to invite two people to the stage, not you two. Sit down. Okay, you'll get your moment in a second here. Two people who know this show better than anybody else. I got a chance to meet them earlier, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to two Detroit natives. One joining us right now, the book writer for Ain't Too Proud and award-winning playwright Dominique Morisseau, and the founder and current member, still living, the Temptations, the legendary Otis Williams. Let's give them a standing ovation and a round of applause. I told you we had some surprises for you. It's a good one, right? Well, why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe they haven't met you before.
Okay, my name is Dr. Otis Williams. I'm the last founding member of the Temptations.
All right. And who's the lovely lady to your left?
I'm Dominique Morisseau, and I'm a Detroit girl, Cass Tech grad.
We have a Cass Tech grad in the house. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. We got a chance to talk a little bit earlier, but I want you to tell everyone here, what is it like for you both to be back here in the greatest city in the entire country?
Well, for me, it's always great coming home to Detroit because I still have family members here. But it's also great to come here because, you know, you all have been supporting the Temps throughout all our many different changes. You've been there every time we've been here to perform. And I love you guys and girls for it. So thank you for that. Thank you.
And you know, for me, it's very special because this is my first time home in Detroit with Otis. The very first time that Otis and I met, it was in Los Angeles. And even though I've grown up here and have my own memories here, I after being able to get his story and to learn about the Temptations through his eyes, being here, back here with him, is truly significant, because now when I walk down Grand Boulevard, or when I'm traveling the streets of Detroit over in like Philadelphia and 14th Street in that area, right? I now see that not just as like my family's neighborhood, but I now see that as a Otis growing up and meeting David Ruffin on the corner and singing. And it has a different resonance for me, so it's really special being back here.
Absolutely. Well, welcome back. On behalf of everybody that's here to see you guys, first of all, for Otis, the 1960s was a very special time. So I've heard. Get back in the character. Do you think the magic that is Motown, do you think that can be replicated today?
No, I don't think so. Motown will always be, like I've said, the greatest recording company in the history of the business. Yes. Now, the reason I said that is because I've always said I'm an avid reader. I love reading about history. And I've read about a whole lot of different up-and-coming labels, or labels that have been established before Motown. But Motown not only is known for the hits that they produce, like I tell everybody, Motown sent their artists to school. No other recording company in the history of the business did that. We had to go to a division called Artist Development. There was attempts, you guys need to be in Charlie Atkins at 10 o'clock in the morning. We would not leave until 6 o'clock in the evening. But through those efforts, we were able to learn about show business. They wanted us to be established as artists that can make a very good living, whether we have another hit record or not, and which we've been able to do. So Motown has been very, very wonderful for us, and a lot of the up-and-coming artists. So I'm very happy to be part of something that has been, we're getting ready to celebrate the Temptations' 60 years of being in the business. Unheard of. So aside from that, we are getting ready to have a brand new audio book. My PR girl told me to say that. Marilyn does swear. It's always a pleasure coming home, because, like I said, I have family here. So it's not just because of us recording here. I still have family members here. So I'm in and out of Detroit forever. And I'd like to say once again, thank you for your love and support, because we would not have been able to last all these many years if it wasn't for the love and dedication that you all have shown us throughout the years.
Absolutely. I think it's safe to say everybody has their favorite Temptation song. Real quick, you guys yell out your favorite song. All right, so there you go. They've got a lot of them. What is your favorite song? We're gonna ask you the same question.
My favorite song? I would have to say first and foremost, My Girl.
How does that one go again?
My Girl? Oh, no, I'm not saying that.
I tried.
No, if you can hear the way I talk, I have double tones in my voice. I'm getting over a cold. And I'd rather not make a bad impression and keep the good impressions that we made. But no, My Girl, I'd like to tell you a little quick story about My Girl. The reason I said that is because a long time ago, when My Girl went to #1, sold over 1 million records and what have you. So the temps, we said, well, it did what it's going to do. We can take it out. When we took My Girl out of our lineup, they almost called us every name except the child of God. We will never, ever take My Girl out the lineup. So that is a mainstay. So thanks to you all for taking My Girl #1.
Very wise, very wise. Dominique, you have such a great job to be able to tell their story. As a Detroiter, what does it mean to you to be able to open this tour back up here in Detroit?
Oh, it's so special. I feel like, it's in New York, and that's wonderful. It's doing great on Broadway, but to be here in the place where this group began, and I think what's really special about our show is that it is written by a hometown girl. And so I'm not shy about a lot of the homage that we pay to Detroit in the show. I know that Detroit feels a particular ownership over the Temptations. And so for me to be able to be that person, you know, that can say that I'm from here, that I grew up here, that I know those streets that they grew up on, I've been there, you know, and then to be able to have shown it to the world, but bring it to where it really began, to kick off, like to have the opening of our you know, national tour start in Detroit. That's what I always wanted for us. It's paying a special tribute to this city, as the city so deserves. And so I feel really excited about bringing it home.
As you should. I'm interested in how you two got paired up to work together. Tell us that story.
You do.
Well, I had the pleasure of Dominique and the director, Mack Ave. They came to my home in LA. And first time we met, it was cool, easy peasy. The second time, so to speak, they kind of drew blood. In the sense of, I mean, not in the real sense, but now Dominique was sitting to my right. My manager, Shelley Burke, him and I have been together for 50 years. And Dez was sitting right there. So Dez said, Otis, have you ever had to go to that deep, dark intro retrospective within yourself? So when he asked that, I said, oh my God. Why did he have to go back there? Because over the years I've learned to suppress a lot of the things that we were going through. So as I'm telling this, on the real side, tears started to well up. This wonderful lady, she grabbed this right arm. She said, go ahead on, brother. Tell it. I'm right here with you. The powers of a woman. So as I told it, and I came out and I said, Des, why did you have me to go there? He said, Otis, there's a Dominique and me, we're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna write about the temps. It's not all gonna be about because you had hits and you have all the flashy movement in the staging and all that. We want to hear them when they walk out of the place saying, wow, they really lived that. When I first saw it in Berkeley, no, I take it back, when I saw it in New York when they were starting to work on it, I'm sitting up on the off the stage, and it was a line of powers to be. You know, my manager, my business manager, Dougie, my road manager, and a lot of heavyweights that were backing the show. So when they played the first half, I'm sitting there, so I had to look down and say, I hope I'm not the only one up here crying. So when they finished, I got up, and the whole cast circled me. And I said, you guys and girls, you all moved me to tears. So one of the guys that's playing the temp said, Otis, you know, men cry too. I said, yeah. And then he said, well, if you're crying already, that must mean that it's gonna be a hit. True enough, when I saw it in Berkeley, California, I'm sitting there and the people sitting around me, now they're watching the play, so they look at the play and then they say, they want to see if I was showing emotion. Yeah, and I was showing emotion. So they had the 15-minute intermission, and the young lady walked up to me. She said, Mr. Williams, how do it feel to see yourself up on stage? And I said, I was truly touched. She said, wow, I didn't know you guys lived through that. She said, your play is subject to be as big as Hamilton. I said, wow, if we do anything like Hamilton, we have a hit. So, hey, you all made it a hit, and I'm so happy to hear that it's coming to Detroit. Yeah.
And we can't wait for that. Dominique, describe for everybody here who has not seen it, your favorite moment.
That's hard.
Right.
I mean, I wrote it. There's so many. One of the things that I love, first of all, I have to say this about Otis. You know, he has been I've worked with, you know, other artists trying to tell their life story or, you know, something that has to do with someone else's life rights. Otis Williams is one of the most generous people I've ever worked with. He knew how to let us kind of go away and do what we needed to do. And after that first meeting, I remember thinking, oh shoot, my mama gonna kill me if I tell her I made Otis Williams cry. You know, I I gotta do better. I gotta, earn this back for him and earn his trust as a writer. And so I'm very happy that we were able to do that, And so I think some of my favorite things about the show are because of that interaction that I have with Otis, the depth that we have in this story. The fact that there's moments where, a Temptation song like I Wish You Would Rain, which might seem traditionally like it's talking about one kind of love, but this ends up being a song in this show about men talking about their nation, and the loss of the civil rights leaders. I don't want to give everything away about the show, but it's dealing with the world at large and not just their personal interaction. And then there's another moment in the show that comes at the very end of the show, and I won't tell you what song they sing, but I've never experienced the song this way. It's a song that is a Temptation song that sort of goes gospel. And when that gospel moment happened in rehearsal, like seeing the faces of all the cast members when they figured out, like, oh, this is what we need to do with this right here, because this is after everything that this group has gone through, and after everything Otis has gone through in this story and in his real life, it felt like we needed to bring in the spirit.
Have a little church.
Have a little bit
take
of
up a little offering.
And that's one of my favorite moments because it's truly a collaborative moment with our team, and it was truly it's one of those moments that feels like, oh, this is right. This is what this all leads to, and that's remembering the massive calling and anointing over the man sitting to my right.
Okay. I want you to tell us a little bit about Otis here and his involvement in the creative process in putting this whole thing together.
Well, my DNA is somewhat through it, and it's, I had the pleasure of, like I said, Dominique and Des, even the producers, Tom Halsey and Ira Pittleman, they would call and ask me certain things about the aspect of the Temptation. So one day, I came off of something one night, and I flew up to Berkeley, California. And the guys that were portraying us, they said, Mr. Williams, we know you're just getting in off the road, but could we spend a little time with you? Sometime, and I said, but I cannot neglect them or tell them no. So I said, yeah, come on by my room. They came by my room at 7 o'clock that evening. They did not leave my room till almost no o'clock in the morning. And I went down each one of them, in the sense of, so you playing Eddie Kendricks? Yes, sir, Mr. Williams. I said, okay, well, Eddie was known for singing that sweet tenor. Yes, sir, Mr. Williams, okay. Then I said, Paul, I said, well, Paul was one of the most soulful guys in the business, and Melvin, your young man that was playing Melvin. But when I got to Ephraim, who was playing David Ruffin, I said, so you gonna play David Ruffin? Yes, sir, Mr. Williams. I said, well, now, if you really want to capture the essence and the whole embodiment of the Temps, David was known for throwing the microphone up in there, spinning around, dropping to his knees, and as the mic would come down, you grab it. Mr. Williams, next time you see me, I'm gonna have that. Would you believe? He did the hell out of it. I mean, it was almost like David came back and said, all right, this is me up here. He did it beautifully, and I must say, they bowled me over, But I did have a great input in trying to guide them in the thing of what made the Temps, and they are doing a wonderful job.
How many of you are excited? You're excited, right? I want to brag a little bit about this young lady to my left here. She is our girl because she has been representing Detroit so well. She's very humble, but she has written play after play about Detroit that really just shows the entire country what we already know, right? Talk about why that was so important for you in the other work that you've done.
Well, I was telling you guys this earlier, but I have about 300 family members in Detroit. So literally, if you're talking about Detroit, you're talking about my family. But it's part of my history and my upbringing. I think it's a unique city and what Detroit gave birth to in this world. I mean, this is evidence right here. But just also, just what it gave birth to in terms of industry and in terms of what keeps this country running. And I, growing up, have had a strong sense of self because of the education I got in Detroit.
Where did you go again? I didn't hear.
So I went to Bates Academy, and then I went to Cass Tech.
I just want to make sure you knew.
So I had a lifelong awesome education in the city of Detroit, and the arts fostering here, and the arts built me. The Detroit art scene built my artistry. So in many ways, I want to give back to that, but also, you know, as a storyteller talking about cities, you know, the media has not always told the story of the city of Detroit accurately, fairly, or with love. And not the media in Detroit. Well, I don't know. You could ask some questions about that. Talk to the people; they'll tell you. But I felt that there needed to be a narrative of someone who's from here, who can write about the true humanity of the city of Detroit. And I think that because that's real, and we are. And just like I know it of my family, I've known it of many people, many residents of this city. And so I'm proud to stand on this city's shoulders, and I will rep it to the day I die.
Absolutely. And she mentioned that she has like 200, 300 family members here, and now you've just added to your family here in this room, and we are so excited to support you and to support this musical. I do want to touch on the audiobook of your autobiography. I know you're excited about that.
Very, because this is the first time for me that I had such, you know, audiobook. And it comes out next month, I think the 21st of March. And, you know, I hope you enjoy it once you get it, because it's telling what we are saying on Broadway. The audiobook is telling it. I introduce it, but there's a young man that's telling the story and magnificently well, you know, so do get it. I think you'll be very happy, as much as you will once the play comes to Detroit, because the play comes to Detroit in July. And you guys and girls will get a chance to see what we are known and what we're about, and you'll see certain things that'll leave you saying, wow, they really lived through that. I mean, there's some scenes in there that'll make you scratch your head. Wow. Ain't too proud.
I wonder where you got that from. Last question for you, and we'll have both of you answer this. For the other founding members of the Temps, the Temptations, how do you think they would feel about the musical and the work that Dominique has done?
I would like to thank that David, Eddie, Paul, Melvin, and most recently Dennis Edwards are looking down on me from heaven, saying, Otis, you carrying the banter. We're very proud of what you're doing. And I like to thank It's With Love, because I had no inclination that I would be here to tell the story, to be written so wonderfully well by Dominique and Des, you know. So I would like to thank the guys with Smile from heaven, saying, carry it on, brother. And that's what I'm doing.
Anything else that you would like to add? These are the people.
Yeah, you know, I heard Otis answered that for the first time earlier today, and I said, you know, that's interesting, because even though this is based on, you know, through Otis's lens a lot of ways, it was important to me and to my director, Des, and we were talking about the story. I really wanted to write this with humanity and with, like, we're gonna deal with a lot of turmoil inside of the group. We're gonna deal with their highs and their lows, and, you know, and the personal, Otis has always said, you know, the world loved us, but
we didn't love ourselves.
We didn't love ourselves. And so we're gonna deal with some of that too. And I think that what I'm excited about, and what I hope that that everyone would experience from the story, especially the other group members who have gone on, is that there's this opportunity of all these different ways in which Black men can show love and compassion to each other, even through their ups and downs and their turmoil, that they have these ways of expressing love and support and solidarity and brotherhood. And that's what I'm really excited about bringing to the stage, because we haven't seen that. It's very unprecedented, especially in a Broadway musical. And so I'm really excited to be able to bring that forward. And I hope that they saying, yeah, okay, that's us. We cool, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dominique Morisseau, the writer to Power, a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Otis Williams. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And we cannot wait.